Hi, and thank you for stopping by. Tonight I want to speak to you about Seattle school systems again. And the reason I want to talk to you about that is because I just did a video where I kind of talked about the school system a little bit, but I kind of was very vague in the school system, and I was vague about what school systems I was talking about. I was meaning Seattle, but again, I was talking about things that the school system doesn't teach and things that should be worked on that could make the school system better. Well, tonight I want to talk to you about video. I want to do a video based on an article that I came across, and it's entitled "Seattle Ranks as Seventh Most Educated Large City Across the Country." When they say that, I'm wondering what they mean. When they say the most educated, do they mean that they have the most educated people in Seattle? Is that what they're going by? Or are they going by Seattle has the best education system that can be offered? Now, there's a huge difference between being educated and educating. When you've got a group of people that move to Seattle from other places to get a job, they're educated. Seattle did not educate them. Therefore, Seattle's education system might be lacking. It says here that Seattle ranked as one of the most educated cities across the country according to a new study. The study, conducted by Advisor Smith, found Seattle took the 7th spot on the list of most educated large cities in the country, defined as places that have populations of 500,000 or more. According to the study, 43.6% of the people in Seattle aged 25 and older had a bachelor's degree, and 16.8% had a graduate's degree. Nationally, 35% of people had bachelor's degrees, and 13.1% had graduate degrees according to the study. Now, that would mean that Seattle's got a pretty good education system. They're producing graduates, and they're producing bachelor degrees, and they're producing master's degrees and things of that nature. But I don't think so. I think that the study is talking about people that have moved to the city and became a citizen of that city. Now, what I mean is, here, I'm in Minneapolis right now. I know you're going to say, you're in Minneapolis, what are you talking about Seattle for? Well, I'm going to be moving to Seattle very shortly. I'm going to be diving headfirst into my Seattle mayoral campaign for 2025. And I want to just say this. The Lakers, the Los Angeles Lakers, they used to be here in Minnesota. They were called the Minnesota Lakers. And the Minnesota Lakers had a whole ton of championships that they won here. Now, when they moved to LA, as the LA Lakers, the Los Angeles Lakers, they took those championship wins with them. They didn't become a brand new team. They took those wins with them. So that means that the Los Angeles Lakers got way more, Los Angeles got way more wins from the Los Angeles Lakers when they were known as the Minnesota Lakers. Just as Seattle has gotten a whole lot of bachelor degrees brought to them from other states and other cities. See here, it says that the city that topped the list of the most educated large cities was Washington, D.C., which was followed by San Jose, California, and then Boston. Among all size cities, Seattle ranked 27th among the most educated. The city that topped the list of the most educated cities of all sizes was Boulder, Colorado, a medium-sized city. The study found 62.5% of the people in Boulder metro area had a bachelor's degree or higher. Boulder was followed by Lawrence, Kansas, Ann Arbor, Michigan, and Ithaca, New York. Cities that were small to medium-sized and all had high percentages of people who had obtained a bachelor's degree or higher. Now, those other places that are small, I don't really see a lot of transplants moving there and bringing their bachelor's degree in tow. I see the city or the town producing those bachelor's degrees through their school system. Now, it says here, education is often an important factor in determining the health of local economies. The study said the quality of local education, as well as the size and the reach of schools, can directly influence the number and type of businesses, jobs, and social opportunities in the area. Which, that's very true. The better, well, it depends on what kind of jobs you're offering and the types of bachelor's. See, a lot of times people, they go to school, they study, they get a degree in something that they can never, ever, ever get a job in. And then they turn around and they try to get a job in that area, but a lot of times, archaeology. That's a cool subject and everything, and I'd like to learn about that. But to get a bachelor's degree in archaeology, when are you going to start getting a job going over to Egypt looking at the tombs? Probably never. But you get a bachelor's degree in that. Now, a lot of times people go to school and they get a bachelor's degree in something like, say, computer science or computer electronics or something like that. See, for me, coming right out of high school in 1982 when I graduated high school, I graduated early, got extra credits and worked hard and graduated early because I couldn't stand to go to school. It was boring to me. But school was very important. Even though I felt it was boring, school is very, very important because now you're learning a lot more stuff than you could have when I was in school. They had things, but now it's computers. Computer this, computer that. So they're teaching computers in school. Back when I got out of high school, I could have went to ITT Tech. And I could have got a job working in computing and technical aspects of computing, technical electronics and computers. But I didn't see the advantage of that. I was narrow-minded at that time. They had the big computers, and Steve Jobs had come out with computers for the house, but they were so damn expensive, nobody could really afford one unless you were rich. I didn't see it. Now you got cell phones that are in your, you got computers that are in your cell phones now. So, having said that, school is very important, but when it says Seattle is ranked the 27th among the most educated, does that mean that Seattle is producing 27 or producing enough people to get ranked 27? Or is it they're including the transplants in that as well? I would like to be able to take the transplants and move them out of the way for a second and do a study that's based just on the residents that grew up in Seattle, the residents that went to school and got a degree, or the ones that moved to Seattle to go to college there and went through college. Now, I'm not talking about the person that goes to Seattle for college because they find out it's got a good school system there and they want to go to college, and then after they're done with college, they leave and go somewhere else. I'm talking about the person that goes to Seattle, that's been in Seattle, then stays there for the rest of their life, or goes to Seattle, falls in love with Seattle and stays on. But that's neither here nor there. So the education is very important. It says here the study used data from the U.S. Census Bureau of people aged 25 and older. It looked at 512 metro areas, and it also looked at the education people had received, from the percentage of who had received high school diplomas to those who had received graduate degrees. Now, when they did that study, I wonder how many people they actually found out who lived there, grew up there, and went to school, as opposed to those who got their degrees elsewhere and went to Seattle to get a job. Moving to Seattle for school can be okay. A lot of people do it. You say you're from Bohoken so and you want to go to California Tech or California State or whatever. So you go to California, you live there and go through school, and then you decide you want to either stay there or you want to go somewhere else where you can get a job. I can understand that. That's cool and everything, and I kind of give those people a pass slightly. Those that want to stay in Seattle because they love Seattle, I give them a high pass. But I wish it was based on just the people that went to, that grew up in Seattle and went to school. Now, I was a transplant back in the 90s, late 80s, early 90s. I moved to Seattle quite by accident. I've said it before. I bumped into Seattle by accident. I fell in love with Seattle and I stayed until family issues pulled me away. And now it's time for me to move back to Seattle. And Seattle needs my help, and I'm going to do the best I can to give it to you. So, having said that, if you have an idea for a video that you'd like to give me, put it in the comments below. If you like this video and you want to comment on it and you know something I don't, or you know someone that knows something I don't, put it in the comments below. I would love to hear from you. If you like this video, please hit the thumbs up. If you want to subscribe, hit that subscribe button. It's right down there. Also, remember, 2025 TJ for mayor. Me, Timothy Jenkins. I'm running for mayor in 2025. It doesn't look like it. Right now, I'm just putting out feelers. But when the time comes, you'll know. Have a good night. Seattle, and all points beyond.